Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Be part of the meeting from up there. Okay, perfect. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. That drives me crazy. The first item on the agenda is public comments. Anybody have any public comments? Nobody signed the public comments. Set that out. All right, item 3 is to consider and or approve the purchase of vehicles for constables. So I believe the constable, I emailed everybody some quotes that the constables received, so you would have to be able to look over those. And do you, Carrie Dawn or Scott, do you want to address any of those, or you have 3 different quotes here, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We got one from Grapevine, one from Dodge dealership in Houston, one from Bull Rock Motors.
Okay.
Grapevine. What would be the lowest? He got a shipment of police package, so these are plain Dodge Chargers, all-wheel drive V6s. They don't have all the bells and whistles that one off the lot civilian model would have. There are 21s instead of 22s. You just have to get a couple 21s in. Since he got the 22s, he's willing to give us these even at $1,000 discount since we're willing to take both.
So
They're still new. One of them had like 800 miles on it.
So it's
a couple hundred miles on it.
2 vehicles for $59,388.
So I even emailed him this morning, make sure there was
Nothing else.
no fees. He said, no, price on the quotes, what, bring me a check for that. And
I mean,
fees.
that's the best price
Oh, yeah,
out of all of
even
these
the other
quotes.
He gave me are 35, 36,
These
38.
are 37 and 36 and 41 and 39.
With a 59,388, that's
Out the door.
nothing else.
Yeah, that's the make sure to bring that up. Yeah, he said, assuming they're in the county name, there's no sales tax on them, so that's total.
Oh, yeah, come on in.
Did you get it?
No.
Okay.
We didn't.
Judge,
Yes.
before considering anything, there's some things to point out with the statute on budgeting. The statute says that the commissioners may authorize an emergency expenditure. They can amend the budget that way, or they can amend the budget by transferring an amount budgeted from one item to another budgeted item. So if they don't have the budget in a line item in their budget already, we can't create a new one.
Okay, so we could, though, if the vehicles were approved, we could take the vehicle expense that they're allotted of $375 a month and moving that, say, to either miscellaneous expense or equipment maintenance. Is that correct?
It looks like Constable 2 does have a line item for equipment maintenance that we could use for
And Constable
probably fuel. or
1 just
changes.
has an equipment. It just says
And
equipment.
it just says equipment.
But that line item up in the payroll part, that is their vehicle expense. Can we not just to use that just as a gas allowance? No, because it's part of
it's-
payroll?
Yes, it's part of payroll and it's reported on their W-2.
Okay, so, but we would be able to,
We could transfer
that balance,
the balance of that to either the equipment maintenance or the equipment line item.
Okay. okay.
We use that for fuel.
That's what it's for.
Well, the equipment maintenance, I don't see a problem with that. But putting it in the equipment, I would
Yeah.
have to
Right, that might be,
double check, because I mean, that's basically for purchasing, that expenditure is for purchasing equipment,
mhm.
not really for maintaining the equipment.
Could we put it in miscellaneous? Or is that a stretch?
Not to complicate, but where is the insurance gonna come out of?
It comes from the
Comes from
general.
Non-departmental.
Yeah,
Oh,
Because
okay.
It's countywide.
it's like
Oh,
one
it's just a
big lump.
Lump.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I know full coverage, it's kind of surplus still, correct?
But
On the full coverage insurance for all the vehicles. There's money there to put it on.
I did not look, but
There was a surplus there.
So you're not gonna spend any money on decals or lights installed or anything like that this budget season?
No,
No, I got budget money that I'll, and I still have,
Under what
I've already got.
Under what line on
Yeah,
it?
well, he's got,
I got 2,000, I think, still in my equipment budget.
no, JP one, or I mean, Constable one, You have-
Was it in training?
1,600 in your equipment budget.
ERP for United Way.
What?
I don't think he knows he's not muted.
Who?
Craig.
Oh. And then
I had 16.
Constable two,
It's only $375 per month that we would be moving out of their
right,
vehicle allowance
for,
for the rest of the
Right.
year. So that's what,
so,
we took June, July, August, and September, 4 months is what, about $1,500.
So you can always
For
freely
fuel.
move, you can always freely move money from payroll to operating.
Not always, no. This is a special occurrence that would have to be approved by you guys.
Fuel wise, you're talking about what? 2,000, 2,500 to get you to October 1?
what's $375 a month?
1,000.
Yeah,
That's
you
all we
could
have.
spend- Yeah, that's all he has.
Yeah.
But I mean, in typical operating, not necessarily what's in the budget, but
Mhm.
you would probably use that money.
We did that to be for the rest of this year. Figure it out.
Or you can buy the cars now and just sit on them for 3 months and wait.
You have $1,100 in your training and education, Scott. So you could move some of that money, I'm sure, to equipment maintenance to put your decals on unless you have a training you need to go to.
Yeah, it's with JPCA still coming up. I've already got it scheduled and paid for.
Surely
Actual-
it won't
Paid for.
take $1,192 to go to JPCA. Where's it at this year?
It's in college section.
Oh,
Close.
no, they provide a lot of
Yeah,
meals.
I've already figured
I
it
mean,
out.
That'd be pretty
it's
close.
just Leo's funds. for
Those hotels.
training.
Oh, yeah,
I've
This
got
year,
it,
but-
and I can use
Yeah.
it for some of that.
Good.
I still have most of mine there. I think I got 1,600, and then I got all my miscellaneous.
Yeah, you've got equipment, you've got 1,600 and you've still got $2,000 left on training and education.
I'll probably have to wait till next budget before I strike it. Already got lights in my office
Uh,
that I bought off this budget for my truck.
My tablet's the only thing that came out of my computer. I just ordered it. It should be here today
Okay.
or tomorrow. So that's,
Ben, did you have a question for Craig?
Question is,
Craig, can you hear us all right?
Yes.
probably muted.
No.
Yes, can you hear me?
Great, man. We could hear before you got here. What'd you do?
Yeah, Josh.
Not there.
Can you hear me yet?
And with Joe strapping those vehicles, you're looking at about $500. That's what it costs for a police car.
Craig, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
And he can hear you, but.
Okay, I'm just gonna call him and put him on.
Window,
Oh.
We got,
Oh,
I can hear you.
oh, yay. Okay, now we can hear you. Never
Okay,
mind.
great.
Okay, great. Josh, yay, thank you. So,
okay.
yeah, Ben, did you have a question?
The question I have is, by them using their own vehicles, I just want to make sure that we need these vehicles. But what is the liability to the county if something goes wrong, them driving their own vehicle? And the state statute says what they can do if they so mind as a constable. Are we at risk of being sued possibly?
You mean if they use their own vehicles?
Well, they're using their own vehicle now, but
Yes, that was the question. They use their own vehicles in their
if
incident.
they're out, whatever, if they're patrolling or whatever they want to do, delivering papers, anything, are we at risk by using their own insurance for their vehicle?
I don't think it changes the liability for the county. My understanding is, the county is usually protected by immunity under the Tort Claims Act, but the main instance where you do incur liability is use of a motor vehicle. It doesn't matter if it's a private vehicle or a county vehicle.
I don't think it would apply unless they were talking about transporting the others.
Well, if you're transporting or you have an accident in that vehicle, which typically kind of covered under your auto policy, the auto policy is now on them, not county auto policy. So.
But I think serving papers and all that would be just like us driving our vehicles.
They're on county payroll. If they're serving papers, they're working for the county.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Unless they're transporting a other person, it's the same liability as you driving your truck up here to do work.
Now, if you're talking about insurance coverage, it's all going to depend on what the policy says.
Yeah, their policy,
Right.
not our policy. That
Right.
was my question. But could we inadvertently get in trouble over that? Is there a liability to the county?
Is there a liability to the county if they use their private vehicle and create some kind of injury or damage?
Yes.
The county is potentially liable whether it's their private vehicle or whether it's a county-owned vehicle. I don't see any difference. And the county's not always going to be liable. It's going to depend on the facts, but it's not going to depend on what vehicle they're driving.
Okay.
What other questions, comments?
I just want to say, I don't mind getting vehicles. I hate that it's such a lot of work where we could just do it at budget season and it'd be a whole lot easier. That we are having to bend a lot of stuff. And I know we could say, these may not be here in 6
Well,
months.
the actual purchase of the vehicles in itself is not an issue because the funds have already been
Oh,
approved.
yeah, I'm just talking about trying to
With
figure
ARP.
out.
It's just the fuel for the vehicles, because
And
it's
all-
gonna be pointless to have a vehicle if we don't have any fuel for it.
But, I mean, I don't mind the vehicle. It's not a
So,
big deal.
so Alicia, the process of taking that 375 from the payroll section and moving to a line item in the operating is allowable.
Right now it is because we don't have a policy. It's allowing that.
Right.
We don't have a budget policy in place that says you cannot move from,
And statutes don't,
not to my knowledge.
okay.
Well, I move to authorize the purchase of the 2 Dodge Chargers from Tomball Dodge Chrysler
I don't
Jeep.
think that,
Uh-uh.
yeah.
Oh,
it's
Grapevine, sorry. I clicked
Yeah,
on the
this
wrong one.
is from Grapevine
I
Dodge
apologize.
Chrysler.
Yeah.
and Jeep.
I clicked the wrong button. Anyway, from that place. For
59,380.
59, yes. Mine's upside down now. So
Okay, do we want a separate motion in regards to moving well, yeah, let's do a separate motion. Okay, so there's been a motion to purchase the vehicles. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Is there any further discussion on the purchase of the vehicles?
So this is just for the vehicle purchase. You're gonna do separate motions on because I'm abstaining from the transfer of the money for the vehicles, but that's too
Well,
gray for me to vote on.
actually, the only thing that I've got on the agenda is to consider and or approve the purchase. So the money is going to have to be addressed at a different time.
You do that at the next commissioners meeting
Yes,
to.
I could do it then.
Is,
So until that happens, we pretty much can't drive the vehicles.
well, they can, they just have to put their own gas in it.
Right.
I feel like already, we're more than half of the year over. What if we just waited until budget time and then we've covered all of our bases? We're not stepping into some sort of gray area.
So at that
Because
time,
the budget is the law for the county.
right, at that time, the 4,500 could be taken out of the payroll part and put into a line item. for fuel.
Vehicle fuel,
What-
vehicle
Whatever
maintenance.
part of that or whatever you need for that.
Right. We just, I think that where the pressure lies is that this is a pretty good deal on these vehicles. So do we,
It is a good deal on the vehicles.
yeah, it's a real good deal. So
The
do,
Fuel is,
so
Worst case scenario, we buy these
buy them and
cars
park them?
and they have to park them for 3 months.
yeah, I mean, that's.
I mean, I'm not opposed to the vehicles, but I'm not gonna go to jail.
I'm in favor of buying vehicles. And if this can get worked out on the fuel, great.
Until the budget year,
Yeah, like I
using,
said, we're,
if
Do what?
using our,
Can they pay for their own gas themselves and not submit a receipt to the county?
Well, they don't do that anyway.
we can,
since we're paying for our fuel anyway right now, just till the
If you're-
end of the start of the new
True.
budget.
If you don't stripe it or use any expenses from the car outside of your equipment budget, then there shouldn't be an issue.
Well, they could still stripe it.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah, if they have the money in
That's what
their
I'm saying.
budget.
Since I have money, I can get it striped. and
Outside of the
Then use
equipment
my
budget.
own
Yeah.
until the new budget, use my
I
own.
wouldn't have any problem with that.
yeah, we're
Because-
that.
Yeah,
Because you're already getting the gas
We're already
allowance.
getting the gas allowance. We can pay for our own gas and until budget, but we'll work it out on the.
And then we'll,
I
We
take
can
a look at
insure
the price
this.
that there are right now.
Sure, correct?
Hmm.
We do, we can get it insured.
it's county owned
Yeah,
vehicle.
it's a county, it'll be a county vehicle, so we would have to get it insured,
But I think we have enough
but I
money.
don't know.
I think there's enough money there to do that, but you gotta check on that.
Yeah.
If it can't be insured, then you can't drive it, but I think it can be. I think there's money there to insure it.
yeah, I agree with Chris. I told Judge, I was a little nervous about just moving stuff.
Right.
Just doesn't feel.
Well, that is not on the agenda for today. As far, the only thing on the agenda is the purchase of the vehicles.
Okay, I
I'm good
feel,
with the purchase.
I feel okay with that.
The diesel or the gas for it is,
Gonna have to be paid for out of their already budgeted amount.
it's a little-
And don't put diesel in it.
They got diesel chargers?
yeah, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna have to put.
My world.
Okay. All right, so I have a motion and a second. Was there any further discussion on the purchase of the vehicle? Okay, all in favor? All right, that's the only thing I had on the agenda today. So you'll need to get a PO from Leisha.
If you'll fill out a purchase order request and send it over, then we can get the purchase order and you can.
And you
send
can
it
call
over
them
to
today.
the dealership.
My screen's upside down. I don't know how.
No, we're fine with,
I think that,
using it,
that's
so,
just that one.
you know,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, we didn't want
Oh,
anything to
yeah.
screw up the budget or change the new budget.
And then
That's the two.
when you
options.
send in your budget request for next year, then you need to put,
That's what we're. working
make a
on.
note, okay?
Yes.
All right.
we will.
And this was through buy board, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
So it covers all of the.
Yeah.
We don't have to go.
Do you have this?
Yes.
okay, great.
And it does say buy board up at the top. I just wanted to.
Yes, yeah, and what's crazy, it opened up, he just happened to call the guy, he didn't claim, just happened to call the guy, and.
They sent me to their.
Yeah. Yeah, I had four just come in, and he said, I have
Where am I?
two 2021s and two 2022s. Like I said, that's a good price, because the 2022s are little.
Yeah, it's saving about 11,000.
Okay, you all can talk later. I have a probate at 9:30, so